Hello and welcome, Exiles. I'm going to give you an exclusive look at the most powerful changes to Recombinators and how you can use them to create your own items. Now, I'm going to recommend you check out this guide, this Bright Up by Buttsickles. He is the one who originally worked with Iron vs. Wild, the GOAT crafter himself, when they made the original Recombinator guide back in Sentinel League. There's a whole write-up where you can find out a lot more information that I'm going to give you here, but I'm going to highlight what I believe is the most powerful use case for Recombinators and how you can use them to make your own very powerful items. Now, as a start-off example, this is a weapon I made about 3 or 4 days ago using Recombinators. You'll notice I have 5 support gem level affixes on this item and a bench-crafted +2 support. This is what previously, 3 days ago, was a mere tier level weapon. This is something you can make reliably now for less than a mere if you know what I'm about to teach you today. Now, just for example, we'll showcase it right here. This is a basically trade search setup to look for multi-link weapons, and you'll notice here there is a double damage support gem one listed for a mirror, and this is what they had previously about 3 days ago before this Recombinator guide hit, before we started digging into this crafting system. This is what was being mirror serviced, and I have to say double damage is just worse than what I made here, and what I made here will cost you less than a mirror to make. So let's get into it. First, I'll show you the clip of me making the item, which you'll see on the 2 sides of this weapon craft. We have 3 support gems we want, and then I have a setup of 4 support gems I want. Realistically, you only need the 5 mods you actually need in the pool, and you can min-max how to hit this without necessarily having multi-link here or multi-link here. This is just, and in the process of going to craft towards the 5 support gems I wanted, I hit a 4 support gem, and I needed to get another setup, and I got a 3 support gem in the process. But you can do it with literally only 5 affixes.
That's great.
So we go for the recombination.
Goes.
And this is it giving us the outcome. So this is showing it.
It shows a prefix.
Work. Now, I want to explain what got us to this point and how it works. There are a few rules you need to know. There's only a few of them that are very, very important. And the most usable rule, in my opinion, is this new concept of an exclusive modifier. Now, what you'll see here is they define what exclusive modifiers can be. These are breach mods, excursion mods, essence mods, beast mods. They're basically a lot of these specialized mods that occur from unique circumstances. But most importantly here is meta-crafted mods and crafted mods that are of chosen, of the order. Basically, a lot of the betrayal mods all count as exclusive mods. Now, this is the part where you really get to make and strengthen your ability to force certain outcomes to occur. The reason being is exclusive mods can only occur once on the outcome of the item, which means I could have an item that has 1 mod I care about, and then I could multi-mod on a bunch of basically exclusive modifiers. I could have another item with a mod I care about, and I could multi-mod a bunch of exclusive items. An example would be a physical weapon where you have Merciless, which is a very low weight mod, and you have Dictators, a very low weight mod. And what you're doing here is when you go to combine, you're making an item that has 6 affixes, but the outcome can only have 1 exclusive affix. So you have 6 total prefixes. And what that means is I have a 72% chance to choose a 3 mod outcome. If it chooses one of the exclusive mods to be in the prefix pool, I have a 72% chance to get Merciless plus Dictators. There's no chance for mutation. There's no chance for downgrade. Those mechanics don't exist anymore in Recombination, which is a very deterministic way to force very low weight mods together. Previously, Recombinators did not have this much control to force low-weight mods together. The big change here is a shift in A, being able to have a lot of control over low-weight mods and putting them together, but B, you have a lot less control over essentially what is the ability to put mods that don't belong together. For example, you can't move Suppress to a non-suppress base. You can't move a Temple mod and combine it with another Temple mod. A lot of that stuff is all gone because they all count on the exclusive mod pool, and you can only get 1 as an outcome. So it's an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. It's lowering the top end of what specialized weird combination of mods you can do, but it's increasing the low end of how easy it is to make a very deterministic outcome. So the idea is basically when you're trying to use this system, you force as many of these exclusive mods, basically multi-mod plus a lot of bench crafts, and then you get your low weight mods you care about getting together in order to force basically 3 prefixes you want or 3 suffixes you want. Or, for example, in my case, I forced a whole item here just by simply following the rule set of exclusive mod. You can only have 1, which basically means you multi-mod, you put on a lot of bench crafts, you add an aspect, and then you let RNG take its course, so to speak. Now, if you're looking at this breakdown right here, The important part is the exclusive mod, which I just went over. Then the secondary part, which is essentially the item chooses to either fill out the suffixes first or the prefixes first, which means you have a 50-50 chance pretty much to choose an exclusive mod on the suffix or an exclusive mod on the prefix pool. What this means is, say you're trying to get 3 prefixes that you care about, you're taking a 50-50 chance that it chooses an exclusive mod on the suffix, which means it can't give you an exclusive mod on the prefix. So say you have an item where you have 2 prefixes you care about, 1 prefix you care about, you have a multi-mod with 2 exclusive mods, and then a multi-mod that has an exclusive mod over here. And if it chooses to put on an exclusive mod on your suffix, like it fills out the suffixes first, it will give you like a multi-mod back. And then you have what is considered a prefix pool where you have 6 total mods, but the only mods that can occur are the prefixes you care about, because the other ones were exclusive mods that have been basically removed from the algorithm of being able to be occurring because it chose the suffixes first. And that gives you that 72% chance to give you the 3 prefixes you want. Now, granted, you could still roll 2 mod outcome, and then you end up with basically 2 of the 3 mods you want, and you have to go get back 1 of the mods you want and go for another combine. But that's a lot of leveraged odds in your favor. Essentially what that means is, say I have a setup where I have what I just described to you, which is 2 prefixes I care about, another prefix I care about, 3 bench-crafted mods in the prefix pool that are exclusive mods. Essentially, that's about a 36% success rate on getting you 3 ideal prefixes. Now, the example I'm going to show you today is going to be physical axes. I have set up a bunch of bases. It took me about, I want to say, an hour to set up basically a few different sets of combinations that I'm going to go through and show you, and to give you a practical example of how this could work for you. This is not just physical axes as the only application, but it's just a good example to use. A lot of people are playing bleed builds this league. You could do this for maybe a Righteous Fire Scepter. You could do this for some sort of spellcasting wand. You could do this for some super min-max prefixes on a shield. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. It can apply to a lot of different builds, and it's very, very powerful. So physical axes, just as an example, these are axes worth over 100 divines where you have 3 prefixes you care about, basically fizz damage prefixes. And then the suffixes you can finish up with like Warlord Slam, Reforged Speed, Reforged Fizz if you have an Elder base. That is the example we're going to go with. So if you look in game right now, we have in our inventory, I have 4 sets of axes set up. What you'll notice here is they all look very similar. I have essentially Merciless, I have Dictators or Flaring, and then I have Flaring. Sorry, Dictators or Emperors, basically either T1 hybrid or T2 hybrid, and then I have Flaring. So I have sets of axes where I have these 3 mods. You'll notice the final axe I have is Elder Influence, because I believe that's where you get the best possible outcome of the axe, where you can reforge Fizz and get 30 to 49% increased Fizz on the suffix pool, which is like a 1 in 3 reforged Fizz, so it's pretty high likelihood. And I have these axes with quality. Essentially what I did is I bought some decent quality axes. I threw on a Warlord or whatever influence. I did Reforge Influence till I hit Elder. And then I did some Jagged Fossil spam. I used roughly about 150 Jagged Fossils just to get either Dictators or Merciless or Flaring, and then I annulled off the extra mods. So that is the final axe. Basically, whenever I go for the final combine, I have a 50-50 chance to choose a really good base, which would allow me to make an insane axe better than I would otherwise, which is the difference in the axe being 100 divines and the axe being like 300 divines. Now, once this video goes out and a lot of people start practicing or using this, I'm sure the prices of axes, this example I'm giving, will tank, but this will apply to a lot of other builds depending on what you're making. Now, it's pretty simple. I spent roughly about, you'll see I have multi-mod on all these axes, and I have 12 axes. I multi-modded 12 axes, that's 24 divines. And then the bench crafts, I did 4-out crafts for all the prefix mods. And then buying the bases, I spent, I think I want to say about 10 to 15 divines buying the various bases, and another like 3 or 4 divines, 5 divines in Jagged Fossils. So this whole setup for all these axes, I probably spent somewhere in the range of 30 to 40 divines, is my rough estimate. And we're going to see if we can make some axes worth 100 plus divines. We'll just see how it goes, just to give you a practical example of how this works. So we'll get our first set of axes, and you're wondering what these other 4 axes on the side here. Basically, if I lose a Merciless or I lose a Dictators, I have some backup axes. We'll see if we end up using these or not. Hopefully we don't, but we probably will. Okay, now first up, I'm going to start off with the non-Elder Influence base. We have Merciless and we have Dictators. These are 2 T1 Fizz mods, and what I'm doing is I have the multi-mods, and then I have the quad bench crafts. The important thing here is when we're doing this craft specifically, I'll give you the odds on this. We have 6 total prefixes. If we hit if it chooses the exclusive mod on the suffix pool, I have 100% chance to get the 2 mods I want, because I have Merciless, I have Dictators, and if it chooses an exclusive mod on the suffix pool, I have 6 total mods, which means 28% chance we get a 2 mod prefix, or 72% chance we get a 3 mod prefix, which that means if it chooses a suffix mod exclusive, that means we are guaranteed to get the 2 mods we want. Now, if it chooses a 2 mod and we have the exclusive mod be a prefix, that is the scenario where we lose, which is roughly about a 14% chance to happen because you take 50-50 on the 28% chance here. It's about the 14% chance I end up deleting one of these prefixes. Very unlikely. So this craft I'm going to show you, this first one with this lead up where we're setting up for the finalized hit, this is about an 80%, 86% chance of success. And let's go ahead and click and just show this real quick. 2 Reaver Axes. Let's see the outcome. Merciless, Dictators, and it shows an exclusive mod on the suffix. You'll see it shows the multi-mod on the suffix. So that is exactly what we wanted to happen there. Now we have an axe with 257% fizz. That's insane. Very, very good. Now, to finish off this craft, we have Flaring on the prefix pool. We have a bunch of meta mods. And what we're going to do is we're going to craft on another pen meta mod because we want to choose items that qualify for exclusive. All these pen mods are from Betrayal. There are a bunch of Betrayal mods. They say of the order are chosen. Of the order is the suffix Betrayal mod. Chosen is the prefix. So if you ever hover over these and you highlight chosen, that's how you know it's a Betrayal mod. But simply, if it's a mod you've unveiled, that's another way to identify it. Betrayal mods happen all the time when you do Betrayal. So hopefully you're familiar with the type of mods that I'm talking about here. Now, when we go for this next hit, we have a Reaver Axe that does not have quality, and we have an Elder Axe that does have quality. I'm technically taking a little bit of RNG here because if it chooses the right base, the outcome of how good we can make an axe goes up significantly. If it chooses the wrong base, we can still make 100D axe. So that is okay. I'm weighing those odds. That's why I chose the finalized base to be Elder. And then what we're doing here is we have essentially what is about a 50-50 for it to choose to give us back the 3 prefixes we want, and then that's taking a 72% hit rate. So if you look at this basically table up here, if it chooses the exclusive mod on the suffix side of the item, we have a 72% chance to retain 3 mods. So 50-50 plus 72%, that leaves us at a 36% success rate. There's a reason I prepared 4 bases, because on average, we should probably succeed either 1 or 2 of these axes when I go through all 3 of them. So hopefully I give some good examples of making a cool axe with this. So we're going to click this. It's going to give us a 50-50 on the base of being Elder. If we hit Elder, that's a big win. And then we're going to have essentially a 36% chance for it to give us all 3 prefixes we want, the golden standard. Now, there is one fail outcome that could occur with this setup. You'll notice I put on the aspect of the spider here, which means I could come away with an outcome that hits stun, duration, strength, and aspect. Thinking about it, I kind of regret putting on aspect of the spider because it does give me some level of RNG of whether or not I hit that, because it chooses to do suffixes first or prefixes first. And if it chooses to fill out the suffixes first, our likelihood to end up with one of the exclusive affixes, it goes up slightly if I add aspect in the pool, I believe, because there's more likelihood that we'll get, I don't know, a 2 mod outcome with aspect, but I will be risking a bit of RNG in terms of it could fill with 12 strength, stun duration, and aspect. So not my greatest decision. I kind of regret putting on the aspect. I wish I didn't do it personally. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's go and hit the axe and see what we get. We got ourselves a Reaver. It did not choose Elder, so we lost that. And it chose a prefix mod. And it chose 2 affixes. So we lost in a horrific fashion there in this crafting outcome. What it did is it chose not only to give us a prefix back for our exclusive mod, but it chose to give us a prefix where it gave us a 2 mod outcome. So we lost the 72% chance, and we lost the 50-50 as well. So that is the first set of axes. Now, this is why we prepared multiple bases. We go again. So this step here, the first step, when we just have 2 prefixes we're going for, this is roughly a, I think, 86% success rate, unless we, get super unlucky. But yeah, here we go. It looks like it chose an exclusive mod of the multi-mod. Here, it gave us back the life gain and the life on kill. And now we're going to combine that with this Royal Axe here we have set up. I have chosen an Elder base. I need to add on the pen mod, and we're going to go for another hit here as well. So we're going to go through each of these examples just to show you guys what it looks like doing it live. And the reason I prepared this is because the success rate of getting us this triple prefix is that 36% success rate based on our setup, pretty much is how it works. And I knew there was a definite possibility that we would fail one or two. So hopefully this time we choose the royal 30 quality base we have, and maybe if we're lucky, it will choose the multi-mod affix as well. Reaver Axe, we lost the base 50-50, but... and we lost the 50-50 on the exclusive mod. Just unfortunate. So the outcome here is we have a very good base, and funnily enough, if you'll notice, this base here has Dictators, and this base here has Merciless plus Flat Fizz. What this means is I can set up for this base without skipping a beat. The fun part is this base here is a 27 quality. I did have one of those mixed in there. So we can save this for our next combination, and maybe we can go for 2 axes. So a lot of times what will happen is when you do miss, you end up with a base that is just ready to go right away again. So you're not losing as much as you might think. When you miss a combination, even though you missed it, you're set up to basically do another combination. So we'll go for this recombine right here. It shows the Reaver Axe with Warlord influence. We have the Flaring Merciless. Now let's go ahead and grab ourselves this other axe. And what we'll do is we'll benchcraft on this. And then we have 2 axes where we could potentially hit the big money outcomes. So I'll go ahead and set up right now. Over here, I have to remove the crafted modifier of the pen mod, and then I'll have to multi-mod again. So we craft multiple mods, and then we will craft double pen. And that gives us those exclusive mods, and hopefully, it's gonna be real awkward if I go through this entire craft and we don't hit the exclusive mod on the suffix spool at all. It is a definite possibility, so have to account for that. This has the ability for me to benchcraft an extra suffix. So I'm going to go ahead and add on, go fire damage over time, or we'll do physical dot multi just because it's like appropriate. No, I don't have physical dot multi. We'll do endurance charge damage. This is another chosen mod. So you'll see of the order, that's if it's a suffix, and it's chosen if it's on the prefix. So that way we have 2 exclusive mods on the suffix there and 1 exclusive mod on the prefix. Okay, so we're set up now to do this combine. Hopefully it chooses the Reaver Elder base. We will see. And then we're set up to do this combine as well, which has another 27 quality base and the 2 mods we care about. I'm getting a phone call from my wife, so I'm going to stop for a second here and answer. All right, I'm back. Let's go ahead and hit these axes and see what we get as an outcome here. So first axe, 27 quality base, and we have the multi-mod. Oh, speaking of which, should I multi-mod that? You know, I think I will. Just to be safe. I'm going to go ahead and multi-mod this base right here as well, just to increase our odds to get the suffix. I think it increases the odds. Just if it fills out the suffixes first, the chance of you getting the bench-crafted suffix, I think, would go up if you have more suffixes in the pool. So if it does choose to fill out the suffixes first, I would want it to ideally win in that scenario. All right, so we have 2 axes to combine here, and let's go ahead and hit these. First one up, we have, you'll see Merciless Flaring on 1 axe, and then we have Dictators on the other. Let's see how it does. Hopefully it chooses the superior base. Let's see what we get. We got Flaring, Dictators, and it chose the prefix. Unfortunately, we lost the 50-50. Not only did we lose the 50-50, but it filled our suffixes with 3 of the mods and none of the bench crafts. So unfortunate there. This is my fault for not going through the bases and clearing the suffixes. I could have done prefixes can't be changed and scoured to clear off all these excess mods, which would have protected me from a result like this. But I was a little bit lazy and a little bit greedy, and it backfired. All right, next time, next craft, we have another chance here to hit the Elder base. Let's see how we do. It chose the Warlord base, so we lost the base 50-50, and it chose the... Oh my word, we're getting eviscerated out there in terms of choosing the correct base. Well, we have some fallback bases here, where these have Dictators and Flaring, and this has Merciless and Flaring, so we can combine with some of these settle bases here. Let's go and do this one right now and see if one of these will work out in our favor. So we have Merciless plus Dictators. Let's see how that goes, and I'm going to regret not clearing these suffixes. They're going to come back to bite me, and we lost the 80% success rate. So this is just going fantastically for us right now. Okay, so I have a base here that has Flaring. Let's see what we can combine with. This, unfortunately, is these bases both have Flaring as the outcomes, which means I need to get a new base that has... Ideally, I want to have a Merciless base. So we have a Merciless base right, I believe, here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the multi-mod combine again to set up for this base. And then we'll think about these other bases as well. You'll notice, even though we are failing, we're getting kind of wrecked here in terms of like low rolling some of these outcomes. We are ending up with more bases to go again. So even though I started with basically sets that could lead to 4 total axes, we missed a lot of those sets. We get to basically target and set up for new outcomes. So I'm going to multi-mod, and then we're going to go for the penetration setup, the penetration crafts. We'll go here, AUX this setup, and then we'll do the AUX on this one. And then we'll multi-mod this one as well to do the same setup here. If I wanted to be, I'm not gonna worry about it. I could be a little bit more basically preventative of the brick scenario by essentially doing the removal of the suffixes first, which I probably should be doing, but I'm being lazy about it. So anyways, we'll go ahead and set up this craft here, and we'll see if this goes a little bit well. I'm also worried we might run out of gold, but I have some more in the town I can run to and yoink, so we'll see how that goes. All right. Double prefixes, let's see what you get. Val Hatchet is not the greatest base, but we do have a scenario where we actually hit a very lucky outcome. It decided to upgrade what was an Emperor's mod to a Dictator's. That is I don't know how rare that outcome is, but it's fairly rare to occur, and usually it's quite unlikely. I think what I'm going to do, because this is my last really good base, Elder Reaver Axe, 27 quality, I'm going to be a little bit more picky about it. I'm going to go for the prefixes can't be changed, and I'm going to set this up correctly, because I want as little chance of failure as possible. Prefixes can't be changed. Scour off those extra suffixes. Let's go big or let's go home. We'll multi-mod. We're going to put on penetration, and then we'll put on a... Let's go ahead and put on the endurance charge. So we have of chosen here. And then I'll go ahead and put on aspect of spider just to min-max our chance that if it does roll a suffix, it rolls the suffix we want. Okay, actually, if it rolls a suffix, it's guaranteed at this point. All right, we should be good here. Let's go for the big hit. All right, we'll send over to King's March. Technically, I don't think I needed the multi-mod here. I probably could have just scoured off the extra mods, put on a bench-crafted prefix, and then I would have 2 suffixes in the suffix pool, which I think is a guaranteed to hit at least 1 mod, so wasted a little bit of resource there, but come on. Show me the money, give me the Reaver outcome, and please, please let me win the 50-50 on the exclusive mod of the suffix pool. Let's see if we can walk away a winner. It chose the Val Hatchet. Of course it chose the Val Hatchet, and it chose an exclusive mod. This axe is determined to make me a liar. Oh my word, I am getting eaten alive out here. Okay, so the good news is we have multiple bases that can be basically sent again because we have multiple additional mods. Let's see what we have to work with here. We have Merciless, which can be done with an Emperor's. I don't like the situation, though, to be honest, because no matter what happens with this base, it has a chance to end up on a non-Reaver Axe. Okay, but I'm going to do all this setup. Oh, I really should go get more bases that are like the correct base types to combine with these. So we basically have a lot of bases that have 2 mods we care about. But unfortunately, since we missed all the 50-50s and it kept choosing the wrong bases, these are just like horrifically bad. We don't want these bases to be the bases that we get on the outcome. In terms of like, I don't want the Val Hatchet, right? Reaver Axe is fine. So maybe we can go with these. Do we have Emperors here? We have Emperors, which will go with this base here.
What was I thinking about just now?
And we have a Emperors again. I have a Tyrannical. I guess we'll send the Tyrannical. So, okay, we'll do these 2 set up right here. And then worst case scenario, I might trade for 1 more Elder Reaver base to combine with this one. All right, so let's set up for these 2 outcomes. Oh my word, my example is falling apart in front of my very eyes because I'm just low rolling unbelievably hard about losing the 50-50s. Essentially, we've lost the 50-50 on it choosing suffix exclusive mod versus prefix exclusive mod every single time. And that just does not feel good. Okay, now this base, I need to annul off a suffix. Let's see if RNG can destroy us 1 more time. All right, RNG did not destroy us 1 more time. We will go ahead and we'll go for the setup here. Oh, may the odds be in our favor. I'm getting ripped apart here. The funny thing is, with all of this setup, if I lose this many times in a row, and if I still hit the if I still hit 1 of these as a success, we've still made money. So that's the good news. The good news is we could do all of this, get horrifically destroyed on the 50-50 step of choosing suffix or prefix for the exclusive mod. But even with all of that, if I hit one of these bases to go the, essentially, to get the 3 mod outcome, we still make, I don't know, over 50 divines profit, which would make this still a big success. Granted, if we got not unlucky, the outcomes could have been a lot better. Okay, this scenario I don't like. I have to attempt to annul this. Let's see if annuls will horrifically end our career, or if maybe stuff goes our way. We will see. And it did take out a suffix, so that is at least something to be happy about. Remove crafted mods, and we will go ahead and do... Why? It's not letting me? Okay. Penetration. Just see how we do. All right. Multi-mod penetration. This is dictators plus flaring. This is tyrannical, so it's not going to be triple T1, but it'll be a T2. And this is emperors plus merciless, so there's a T2 there as well. So in the process, we had to go to the B team of mods. Please, oh please, let me win some 50-50s here. Choose a suffix exclusive mod. I am begging you. Choose the Reaver Axe. If it chooses the Tomahawk, we have... Well, we've made big mistakes. It chose the Reaver. Okay, now can we win? Thank you. Thank you. We can. It is possible. All right, so we have at least one axe that has succeeded. Insufficient funds. Okay, hold on. We ran out of gold, but it's okay. We just steal from the treasury. It's fine. Just gonna steal a little bit of gold from the treasury. Don't tell the town folk. It'll be fine. No one needs to know. And let's go again here. We have 2 Reaver Axes. Let's see how this one goes. See if we get a little bit more. Thank you. Okay, so this is what we were supposed to be doing. Now, imagine we had done this and we'd hit the correct bases. The bases that involve basically getting, oh, I don't know, the elder bases. Those would have been great examples. Okay, so anyways, now that we hit these 2 axes, I'm going to showcase ideas of how to finish them. Unfortunately, this base is already a warlord base, so we can't do a warlord slam, but what we will do is I'll do a reforged fizz, which I think has solid odds to give us the warlord increased fizz damage mod. We'll see if I'm crazy or if I know what I'm talking about. Reforged fizz, and we hit, I believe, physical attacks while dual wielding. That is one of the fizz mods, but there's another mod that has higher weights. Let's try that again. Believe in the dream. Don't fill my suffixes. I am a believer. Reforged physical. Previous can be changed. And we hit the dual wielding fizz damage of conquest. I'm going to try one more time. Believe in the dream. There's basically, I think, 2,500 weighting, 1,500 of it is the fizz mod I am referring to, and it does not want to give me that fizz mod at all, and it filled my suffixes. Oh, this is going incredibly well. Do I try to annul this? I'm going to try to annul this, because I want to be not a liar, and I killed Merciless. So that base is dead. Well, it's not dead, because I used it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. As I was saying, everything is under complete control. If we make one axe, we still profit, okay? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to reforge speed. I'm going to hit T3 or higher attack speed. I'm going to slam Warlord. As I was saying, I'm going to hit T3 or higher attack speed. Just a quick T3 or higher. No mistakes. It's definitely not going to fill my suffixes again. I'm living life. Okay. You had to give me full suffixes. Oh, please. Please, just don't. Okay. Okay, so there we go. We have... Okay, for me to complete this example, I just need to do a cannot roll attack. This is a way you can guaranteed save the attack speed we have here. If you'll notice, all the fizz mods is another little example of if you're crafting something like this and you have a bunch of attack mods and your one mod you have left over is lightning res, cannot roll attack will protect the other mods from being annulled. So see, we rolled and we annulled correctly there. I will now remove this crafted mod. And in an attempt to finish this axe, I'm going to use a Warlord Slam right here, which has, I believe, a The 1500 out of, I think, a total of 3500. So it's like maybe a 40% chance to hit percent fizz. We, of course, hit attack speed if we've killed recently. It is what it is. And we craft physical damage over time. But I don't have that bench craft because I never unveiled it. All right. Anyways, this has been a train wreck of an example of how this crafting system works. But in the end, if you look at the axe, this is a 740 PDPS axe. If we'd hit the correct mods, meaning if we'd hit a merciless plus, if I hit, right, for example, here we can craft a better fizz enchant, this one with the war runes, which I do have war runes for this. I set up for this, but the game doesn't want to remember that I have war runes. Anyways, physical damage, we go over here, craft the mod, we hit 25 fizz. You'll notice this is an axe that has 756 PDPS. If we had this on a merciless base, it would be basically about 800. It'd be very close to it. If we had this on the quality base and we'd hit it with, for example, one of the elder bases, we could be north of 900 PDPS, which is the example where you're getting into the multi-hundred divine range. This will still sell for probably close to 100 divines. I don't know if I've given a good example of the craft. This was a horrific train wreck. What? That is how you can abuse recombinators if you don't get completely screwed by RNG. I think after this video, I'm going to set up and I'm going to go for some more hits and we'll just see how that goes. Maybe I'll do it on stream. I'll start streaming after I upload this video. Anyways, thanks for watching. As always, that is an example of using recombinators and getting screwed, which happens sometimes. I think I still made money on this, but even with a big low roll, it's the difference in what could have been multiple hundred divines of profit with basically an hour to 2 hour of work and making a very marginal profit because of, I don't know what happened. Anyways, thanks for watching, Exiles. Take care, peace out, and have a good one.